This is a discussion of Emily Dickinson's poem, A Bird Came Down the Walk. I will display the text of the poem and play a recording of Alexandra O'Connor reading it. Then I will present my commentary on the poem. After my commentary, I will play a recording by another reader, Patricia Rodriguez. At the very end, I will display the references to the scholarly works I have mentioned in the commentary.
A bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow raw. And then he drank a dew from a convenient grass, and then hopped sideways to the wall to let a beetle pass. He glanced with rapid eyes that hurried all abroad. They looked like frightened beads, I thought. He stirred his velvet head like one in danger, cautious. I offered him a crumb. And he unrolled his feathers and rowed him softer home than oars divide the ocean, too silver for a seam, or butterflies off banks of noon leap plashless as they swim.
Dickinson had an affection for miniature creatures, to use her phrase. She wrote poems about beetles, frogs, caterpillars, fireflies, spiders, snakes, angleworms, rats, squirrels, flies, bees, butterflies, crickets, and all manner of birds, hummingbirds, robins, wrens, larks, bobolinks, orioles, sparrows, blue jays, and bluebirds. Her miniature plants included buttercups, clover, daffodils, dandelions, gentians, grass, hay, Indian pipe, jessamine, mushrooms, and violets. This is according to a tabulation by Ferris Jabra. Dickinson studied botany. She collected plants and classified them using a book by Edward Hitchcock. Hitchcock was a Congregationalist pastor, a professor of geology and natural history, and the president of Amherst College. It was customary for Dickinson's contemporaries to describe scientific things in religious terms. For instance, Hitchcock wrote a book called Religious Lectures on Peculiar Phenomena in the Four Seasons, in which he linked the passage of the seasons to the doctrine of resurrection. Judith Farr quotes from the work of a contemporary horticulturalist who wrote in this fashion about the lily. In these lilies of the field, there is a brightness not of materials prepared and arranged by human hands, but the living brightness that flows directly from the hand of God. There is life in these flowers. Every tint glows with the warmth of the unseen love which gives it being. It is not like the beaming stars, nor the glory of western cloudiness, for it shines with the mysterious power of the living principle. It has a breathing and growth toward the source of all true loveliness in this world and that which is to come. But Dickinson did not describe plants and animals in religious terms. She saw them as citizens of the earth, as in the present poem about the murderous bird. In other poems I have described in this series, we have discussed the crickets who are like druids, a hummingbird who is like a postman, and a bee who is something of a Lothario. The bird in this poem has many facets, like a human being. He was not only savage to the worm and courteous to the beetle, he was also frightened, eyes like frightened beads. But in the last stanza he soars away, possibly toward heaven, according to David Priest. The poet Anthony Heck saw in this poem two aspects of human nature, the sordid and the noble. We do not describe animals and plants in religious terms as Dickinson's contemporaries did, nor as human beings as Dickinson did. We, who come after Darwin, see plants and animals as results of evolution. A note about the angleworm in line 3. An angleworm is a worm used for bait, as in angling. The irony is that if the bird had not cut the worm in half, the fisherman would have done so.
A bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow raw. And then he drank a dew from a convenient grass, and then hopped sidewise to the wall to let a beetle pass. He glanced with rapid eyes that hurried all abroad. They looked like frightened beads, I thought. He stirred his velvet head like one in danger. Cautious, I offered him a crumb, and he unrolled his feathers and rowed him softer home than oars divide the ocean, too silver for a seam, or butterflies off banks of noon leap plashless as they swim.